Of the work against ISIS in terms of fighting extremism, fighting ISIS has been actually either military work or just propaganda. We're saying ISIS does not belong to Islam, ISIS are not Muslims, and so on. But people need facts, because ISIS is using texts of the Quran, verses of the Quran, Al-Kareem, Al-Quran. ISIS is using hadith of the noble prophet, peace be upon him. They are using also textbooks of Islamic law. So we need here very detailed refutation. My book, Refuting ISIS, is an attempt on that way, to reach that goal. It's not the ultimate goal. A lot of works are still needed. And I was hoping to do a bigger work, expand on the book. First edition, second edition now came almost double the size of the first edition. But scholars around the world should engage in tackling these questions, really basic questions. How to declare a caliphate? Mm-hmm. Can a group of Muslims get together and seize a piece of land and declare caliphate? What do our jurists say about this? So we need to tell people, you know, quotes. This is why I wrote in my book, I brought quotes from books of fiqh. I wrote counter-narrative, counter-arguments. Mm-hmm. They speak about non-Muslims, enemies of Islam, and so on and so on. Well, I have quotes. You can never backbite a non-Muslim. Islam supports the authority that is in power in any country. Islam forbids going against your authority. Unless like what happened in Syria, when thousands of people were killed in the streets, then there is a legal discussion between the scholars where people really have to defend themselves, whether they can do that or not. But in a country where you have peace, why would Islam cause insecurity? Islam came to establish peace. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, is the main greeting. Anyone who disrupts this peace in the society goes against God's instructions, goes against Islam. You can never disrupt peace in the society or cause instability or insecurity or make a coup d'etat just because of lust for power or to seize power. Love for power is one of the worst things which are, you know, warned against in Islam. We're supposed not to ask for any position, not to yearn for power. You know, you want to change? Change yourself first. Cure the diseases in your hearts first. That's the way to change the society and make it a better society. Turkey has set an example actually in terms of building up economy, in terms of uniting people together, in terms of bringing back freedom of religion and freedom of practice of religion, where people were forbidden from wearing hijab even. So with such great achievements, which put Turkey now as one of the main economic power in the world, this should not be disrupted. When the ceasefire is a great win for the Syrian people and for civilians, because in any international law, in any religion, stopping a bloodshed is the first priority. We've achieved this. Now there are some sort of claims of breaking the ceasefire. Now this has to be addressed. The Security Council has taken a resolution now to support the ceasefire. Let's have observers. Let's try to protect the ceasefire, because Syrian people have paid enough of their own blood. Almost 500 people, almost 500,000 people now have been killed, apart from those injured and disabled. That's a tragedy of the century. So I believe the ceasefire is a starting point where we can change the whole course of action from military into political. The regime, by the way, if there is a real peaceful political struggle, the regime would not last for 6 months. Let me express deepest thanks of the Syrian people for the help of the Turkish people and Turkish government, because they have found in Turkey the best friend and the best helper. And millions of Syrians live here in dignity. Many of them need help still, and we're trying to do our best to help them. But I believe the best way to help the Syrians now is not by providing arms, is by providing food, shelters, medicine, treating the injured people, trying to heal their wounds and make them happy, put a smile on the face of an orphan. This is, if you want to help the Syrian people, that's the way.